Welcome to ForeFront Performance, where we get your frontline workforce to think and act like business owners. My name is Jeff Ascah, one of the principal partners, and we also have with us today Wouter, who's the founding partner of ForeFront. We've actually been in business for about 18 years now, Wouter, I think, but I think you're a little bit longer than that, longer in the tooth than that. You've been doing this for about 24, 25 years?
25 years,
And what we find interesting is we travel around to our clients in North America, either together or independently, is we'll often have our seatmate on the plane see one of the logos on our shirts or jackets and say, what is ForeFront? Who is ForeFront? What do you guys do? And so how do you answer that, Wouter?
Well, I tell them that we get the frontline workers to think and act like business owners.
I find too, when I think in terms of getting the frontline workforce to think and act like business owners, what does that mean? At the end of the day, it means you've got all of the people that are closest to the revenue generating aspect of your business thinking the same way you do in the C-suite. You know, how can I get out today and make life easier for the team? How can I get out today and save money for the business? How do I get out there and start improving on the bottom line? All of the frontline workers are thinking that way. And that's where you start getting step changes in ideas and process.
What I find really criminal is the fact that the average North American worker works at a third of what their capability is. But the really sad part of that stat is that most frontline employees hate their work. They hate showing up to work every day. Right. And the funny part is that those two are correlated.
Yeah.
You know, my child works really, really hard on his video games, loves his video games. You know, you don't work poorly when you love your work. Why have we created work environments that people absolutely hate? They do a poor job, they don't want to show up.
They work to a third of their capacity.
And they work to a third of their capacity. And we know how to fix this. Yeah. This isn't something that's absolutely magical. It's science. And we know how to fix it. And what gets me is that Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, and Instagram, they've already fixed these issues. That's why we spend so much of our lives looking to little black boxes. And we do that voluntarily.
Can you imagine, Wouter, some of our clients investing millions of dollars into a particular technology or piece of equipment, and that piece of equipment worked at 1/3 of its capacity? Like, what would happen? I mean, it's just mind-boggling to think of the reaction of the senior management team when they've got a piece of physical asset working at a third. I mean, they jump on that with all hands on deck. But when the entire workforce is working at about a third of their true potential, it's supported and left alone.
But when companies become more and more sophisticated, when they become great, they know it's tougher and tougher and tougher to become better. And they're the ones that aren't scared of asking for help, saying, how do we move to the next level? How do we truly engage all our staff to make us even better and even stronger? So we've worked with companies that have really struggled, but the vast majority of our companies are companies that are really A-list companies that are doing really, really well. That I had a CEO that says, I just love walking through the site. When I get depressed in the office, I like coming out to the site, because when I come out to the site, everyone's exciting and wanting to brag about the good stuff that's going on. And the funny thing is that there's a lot of common management techniques, you know, stuff that we're taught in leadership school and supervisory school that actually perpetuate the 1/3 thing. I know that's hard to believe, but there's things that we're taught to do which discourage people from working better and harder. And if you look at the workplace through a behavioral set lens, then you can see those and you can change those. And the irony is that this isn't magical. It's something that tech companies have now been doing for decades. And they hire legions of sociologists and psychologists to make sure that they get it right. Well, you don't need a sociologist, a psychologist to get it right in the workplace. What you need is an understanding of your frontline leadership, need an understanding of the very basics of human behavior with the coach, and put the simplest of mechanisms in. And you can capture the vast majority of that potential that's being wasted every single day.
Now, Wouter and I have a fairly detailed presentation that digs a lot into the process, the models, how it is we apply the science of human behavior. It's typically about a 25-minute introduction that we'd love to engage with you over Zoom or in person if the opportunity presents itself. So certainly consider reaching out to us with the contact info that you'll see coming. And let's set that up because we'd love to get a little bit deeper dive into some of the things we've been talking about today.